Good morning, MFGx Nation. My name is Mike Medwith, and I'm here today to talk to you about our new grid solution or screen editor for MFGx. Before I begin, I'd like to point out a few websites. As always, the latest and greatest information can be found on mfgxonline.com. If you're an existing user, I encourage you to sign up for support.mfgx.io. It's our community where people can share our thoughts, ideas, and tips and tricks. LinkedIn is maybe where you're watching this video right now. We have a LinkedIn page. Please follow us on LinkedIn. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we do have a ton of other videos that we constantly add things like this too. So to begin today, I am going to log into our demonstration account, and I'm actually going to navigate to the home screen here and start at the beginning. So today for my demonstration, I'm going to demonstrate this grid here, which is every screen in MFGx. And today, to show off some of the cool features, I'm going to actually use production tag values from our demo system. So I'm going to go to our channels page first, and I'm going to pick a brown bag channel that I created to store some tags from IoT devices in my last brown bag presentation. That's also available on YouTube as well. In here, the brown bag that I created only has one tag, and it has 72 values to work with, which is more than enough for this demonstration. So I'm going to navigate into the tag, and I'm going to look at its values. So the first thing really is the grid itself works a lot like Excel. There are a ton of features and functionality available. So I'm going to dive right in. The first thing, obviously, is you can sort columns just by clicking them. You can filter individual ones just like Excel. So if I go over here, I can actually filter for just bad tags. I can just filter for good tags, or I can put them all back the way they were. I can also just move tags from left to right, which is great. You have access on our grids and our screens. You have access to every possible column available in the system, including the columns that you add yourself. So I'm just going to go ahead and add them all really quick. And you can see that the page starts to scroll with a ton of data. So now what I'm going to do is take the most useful ones I want to use for this presentation, and that is the tag itself. I'm going to move to the left, and then I'm going to take the created at time, which was the actual time that the values were put into the database. And I'm going to put that second. Now I'm going to take those values and I can actually pin them. So I'm going to pin this column to the left, and I'm also going to pin this column to the left. And now you can see that they're separate. And now when I scroll, I can see everything else. Next up, I'll show off a little bit of charting. So I'm just going to click a couple values like you would in Excel. I'm going to go to chart range. I'm going to pick a line chart, and I get a line chart. The interesting part here is that there is no second axis. So what I'm going to do is expand it. I can change the type of chart I want. I'm going to switch it back to the line. In the data section, I can have categories, which is the bottom axis, and I'm going to change that to the created at time, so you can kind of see the timestamp there. This can also be formulated on like just the time maybe, or something else, but we'll close this out for now. Now I'm going to show off some of the filtering sections. So this editor also controls all the filters. So if you wanted to add filters in here, we can add them. Maybe if you want to search on ID, you can move that up to the top. You can move it back down. If you want the value to be searchable first, you can do that. You can make it second. You can move these all around, whatever you want. Next, I'm going to unpin these columns so I can do another demonstration of pivoting. So I'm going to remove the pin on both of these, and we're back to normal. Now I'm going back to the column tab to edit some of the columns. I'm going to actually group by something. So I'm going to group by the tag quality, which is either good or bad in this case. So you'll see that I just have 39 good, 33 bad. And let's aggregate the values. Since it's a production counter, we'll see how many values of each there are. And we'll kind of move it over here. Now all the other values are still there, and you can see them. If you expand, you can kind of see how that works and plays out. What we can do next is actually pivot the table, and it gets rid of the actual data and just pivots to the totals. And this leads me up to one of my favorite features where I can actually pivot a chart on the data. So we have a pie chart of just good and bad values. Make them bigger. Make it tiny. You can maybe add another line chart, things like that. So you can have multiple charts and things. I'm going to close these out. Let's say that you really like this view and you just want to save it or keep it forever. We actually have a concept of views, so I'm going to go ahead and save it and call it my pivot on quality. And I'm not going to make it my default view. And I'll save it, and then I'll give a quick description. Just pivots records on quality. Sums count. So now you see it's saved here. We obviously have the default view, which if I click, I switch back to, no big deal. And at any point, I can switch back to this pivot on quality, and it becomes available for this screen for all tag values. So hopefully this inspires our users and potential users. Thank you for your time today, and have a great one. Talk to you later.